Luna stood in the hallway of Forrester Creations, staring blankly at the closed office door. Inside, designers buzzed around the latest fabric samples and sketches, but all she could hear was the echo of her mother Poppy's voice from earlier that morning, an offhand remark, a slight slip, barely a whisper, but enough to unravel everything. He was powerful, dangerous. You were never supposed to know. The words had haunted her all day. For months, Luna had wondered about her father. She never had a name, never a photo, never even a story. Just vague answers from Poppy, deflections, half-truths. It had never mattered until now. With her relationship with RJ growing stronger and her place at Forrester more secure, she suddenly realized she had no idea where half of her blood came from. And when a cryptic letter arrived anonymously at her apartment, just 2 lines, no signature, everything changed. He's not who she said he was. Ask about the bracelet. Luna found the bracelet tucked away in her mother's old jewelry box. It was gold, heavy, masculine. On the inside, initials W.S. Not a family heirloom. Not from anyone she'd ever heard of. She confronted Poppy, who hesitated for the first time in years. And when Lee overheard the confrontation, her reaction was even more revealing. She looked at the bracelet, went pale, and said only, "You need to let this go, Luna. You have no idea what you're digging into." But Luna did dig. And what she found sent shockwaves through the entire Forrester and Spencer circles. It started with a name, William Spencer. Bill? When Luna began connecting timelines, rumors, and names, she realized that her mother had worked in PR in Los Angeles around the same time Bill Spencer had one of his infamous affairs, an affair no one could trace. Poppy insisted it had nothing to do with Luna. She begged her daughter to stop asking questions. But the bracelet, the initials, and the tone in Lee's voice made it impossible to walk away. Then came the DNA test. Luna secretly obtained a sample from Bill's discarded water bottle at a charity gala. She sent it to a private lab, refusing to let anyone else interfere. The results arrived just days later. She didn't open them. Not right away. She wasn't ready for the truth, but the truth was ready for her. Meanwhile, her dynamic with Lee shifted dramatically. The cold, stern aunt who had always disapproved of Poppy now became increasingly agitated. She warned Luna that some truths break more than they fix. Her tone was clipped, uncharacteristically shaken. Luna pressed her, and in a rare moment of vulnerability, Lee confessed something stunning. "It wasn't just your mother who had secrets. I kept one too." Lee revealed that decades ago, she had intercepted a letter meant for Poppy. A letter from Bill. He had written to Poppy, asking if the child was his. Lee never gave it to her. She threw it away. She claimed she was trying to protect her sister from a man like Bill, ruthless, controlling, dangerous. But deep down, Luna knew it was more than that. Lee had her own reasons. Power, shame, jealousy. When Luna finally opened the DNA results, she already knew. It was undeniable. The results confirmed it with chilling clarity. 99.9% match. Bill Spencer was her biological father. The revelation detonated like a bomb. Luna confronted Poppy, who collapsed under the weight of the truth. She admitted that the affair had been brief, intense, and unplanned. She had wanted to tell Bill, but Lee had convinced her not to. Poppy had spent decades regretting that choice, but once the lie began, she didn't know how to stop. She thought keeping Bill out of Luna's life would protect her. She was wrong. Luna's world cracked wide open. Her identity, her legacy, her future, it all felt like a lie. She wasn't just an intern turned designer at Forrester. She wasn't just a bright-eyed young woman dating RJ. She was a Spencer, the daughter of one of the most powerful and manipulative in Los Angeles. And worse, Bill didn't even know. Or did he? That's when the pieces started falling into place. Sheila had been watching the chaos from a distance, smiling to herself. But something about her smugness didn't sit right with Luna. When she confronted Sheila at Il Giardino, she didn't expect answers, but Sheila, as always, couldn't resist twisting the knife. You think this was all an accident? That bracelet? That letter? The test? Baby girl, nothing in this town is coincidence. Ask your daddy how long he's known. Luna's blood went cold. She confronted Bill the next day, not with rage, with precision. She asked him when he found out. He didn't deny anything. He didn't flinch. He said 2 months ago. She staggered. He explained that he had received a type-in anonymous call from someone claiming Luna might be his daughter. He had done his own DNA test behind the scenes, quietly. When he got the results, he didn't know how to handle it. So he watched, waited, saw how she worked, how she moved, how she reacted under pressure. I wanted to see if you were like me, he said. Turns out, you are. Luna didn't know whether to scream or cry. Bill had orchestrated it all: the bracelet, the letter, even manipulating Sheila to stir the pot. He had used her questions as a chessboard. Every move calculated, every truth delayed. He didn't want a daughter. He wanted a legacy. The fallout was massive. RJ found out. And though he loved Luna, he felt betrayed by her, but by the blood that now connected her to a man who had tried to destroy the Forresters for years. Lee went on damage control, distancing herself from both sisters. She publicly denounced Bill, reigniting an old feud that had never truly died. Poppy broke down. For the first time, she admitted everything to the public. The affair, the lies, the lost letter, the manipulated past. And Bill, he didn't apologize. He stood at a press conference and acknowledged Luna as his daughter, saying, "The truth always wins." Whether you like it or not, he invited her into the Spencer family, into the business, into the power. But Luna wasn't interested in that kind of legacy. Not yet. She turned down his offer. She went back to Forrester, but things weren't the same. Steffi didn't trust her. Thomas eyed her with suspicion. Brooke ironically a little of herself in the young woman and offered quiet support. And in the final twist of the arc, Luna stood on the rooftop of Forrester, staring at the city lights, clutching the bracelet. She whispered, "You're not going to control me." Then a shadow appeared behind her. Quinn, back from exile. She smiled. "Oh, sweetie, you think he was the puppet master? You haven't seen anything yet." Cut to black. End of episode. And the beginning of something darker. Luna had been playing with fire, and she knew it. Every message she sent under the name was a calculated risk, a deception cloaked in curiosity, necessity, and desperation. Her secret communications with Will Spencer had started with innocent questions. But now, each exchange pulled her deeper into a web she could no longer control. Luna used a burner phone, a voice filter, and an encrypted messaging app to mask her identity. Will had no idea that the woman he thought he was confiding in, one who seemed to understand him more than anyone, was actually Luna. She wanted answers about the Spencers, about her father, about the power games that never ended in Los Angeles. And Will, young, sharp, and eager to prove he wasn't just his father's shadow, gave her more than he should have. But secrets never stayed secret for long. Electra had noticed the changes. Will was distracted, distant, often texting late into the night. She suspected an affair. When she finally caught a glimpse of his phone screen and saw the lettering, her stomach turned. She thought it was about her. A betrayal. But something didn't fit. The tone of the messages she eventually saw briefly through a cracked screen wasn't romantic. It was probing, manipulative, dangerous. Then she remembered something odd from weeks ago, a run-in with Luna backstage at Forrester Creations. Luna had been wearing a scarf pulled high, her voice strangely hoarse. At the time, it seemed like a bad cold. But now Electra wasn't so sure. Something about Luna's posture, the way she avoided eye contact, the way she brushed past Will's studio without even glancing inside, it all felt off. Sheila noticed too. She had been keeping an eye on Luna ever since the DNA results tied her to Bill Spencer. Sheila didn't trust her. There was too much secrecy in Luna's movements, Too much independence for someone who had just found out she was heir to one of LA's most powerful empires. Sheila intercepted one of Luna's encrypted messages through a hacker contact. She couldn't decrypt it, but she saw the pattern. Same time every night. Same number. Whoever Luna was talking to, she was keeping it from everyone, including RJ. It all came to a head one night at the Forrester private gala. Luna had planned to sneak away from the event and use a secluded office to send her final message as E. She had amassed a custom-crafted piece she'd used once before when she and Poppy staged a publicity stunt. She would impersonate Electra just long enough to get Will to open up on a secure call. A few minutes. That was all she needed. But Electra followed her. She had seen Luna slip away from the crowd. Driven by jealousy and suspicion, she trailed her quietly, her heels clicking like thunder in Luna's ears. She watched from the shadows as Luna entered the dark office, slipped on the mask, adjusted her voice, and dialed. Electra was stunned. It was her face on Luna's head, her voice from Luna's lips. She snapped a photo. Then she stormed in. "Take it off," Electra hissed. Now Luna froze. Will answered the call at that exact moment. "Electra," Luna didn't respond. Electra lunged forward, ripped the mask from Luna's face. "It's not her," Electra shouted into the phone. "It's Luna. She's been pretending to be me." Will hung up. The silence was deafening. Luna tried to explain she needed answers. She didn't mean to hurt anyone. She just wanted to understand who she really was, who was pulling the strings behind her father's name. What secrets Will had access to that could unravel the truth about her own family. But Electra wasn't listening. She stormed out, threatening to expose everything. By morning, the news had exploded. Gossip sites buzzed. Billionaire's daughter impersonates rival to access Spencer's secrets. Paparazzi swarmed Forrester. RJ confronted Luna. He was heartbroken, confused, betrayed. He asked why she hadn't trusted him. Why she lied. Why she risked everything. Sheila, meanwhile, made her move. She visited Will personally. She spun a tale of manipulation, warning him that Luna was just like her father. Dangerous, strategic, cold. Will's trust shattered. He turned over every message, every detail to his father, Bill. And Bill, unsurprisingly, didn't see it as betrayal. He saw it as talent. He summoned Luna to Spencer Publications. Not to punish her, to recruit her. "You fooled my son, infiltrated my circle, and almost pulled off something no one else could," he said. "You're smarter than I gave you credit for. You're one of us." But Luna didn't want his approval. She wanted clarity. She wanted peace. What she got was more confusion, more manipulation, more power games. And in the final twist, Lee stepped forward with a confession. She had known about Luna's plan. She had helped her, coached her on how to stay undetected, provided her with intel. Because Lee didn't trust anyone either. Not Electra, not Will, not Bill, and certainly not Sheila. The real war wasn't between families anymore. It was within them. And Luna. She wasn't innocent anymore. She was now a player. Mask or no mask. And scene.